We were left with 6 MPs. How many did we return back with? 9. How many did Bharatiya Janata Party, how many MPs did Bharatiya Janata Party have? 23. How many did they return back? Same 9. We will have to scrap this tender. If you have been unable to fulfill the tender conditions of providing homes within that 540 acres, and now you're taking those displaced people to other parts of the city and claiming land, that means you haven't been able to live up to the tender conditions. If you look at the surveys across board, across political party leaders, everything, he continues to be the most popular face. Today you look at the Economic Advisory Council's report, it says Maharashtra's growth rate has slowed down. I mean, would you trust a person who said Ajit Pawar will be chakki piecing?
Hello and welcome to Money Control. Guys, as we all know, Maharashtra elections are nearing and all political parties have also geared up. In the Lok Sabha elections, the India Alliance have performed exceptionally well, especially in Maharashtra. And the question is, will the Maharashtra Vikas Aghadi, especially Shiv Sena Uddhav Thackeray group, will repeat its performance or let's say will improve its performance? To discuss this, we have Rajya Sabha MP from the Shiv Sena Thackeray group, Priyanka Chaturvedi ji. Priyanka ji, welcome to Money Control. My first question to you is, from 2019 to 2024, Maharashtra has witnessed unprecedented events, right from forming a government with Congress in 2019, then the split of Shiv Sena as well as the NCP, and then the Lok Sabha elections, the results of the Lok Sabha elections. How do you see that?
No, actually you missed 2 important points in 2019. Pre-poll alliance that Shiv Sena had with Bharatiya Janata Party was broken by the BJP by not living up to the commitment of the alliance Dharavi. That led to new alliances. You also forgot the second part of the 2019, where Mr. Devendra Fadnavis was sworn in as the shortest duration Chief Minister of Maharashtra by taking Ajit Pawar along. And Ajit Pawarji returned back to the MVA fold. And then we saw how new alliance came into power. And by 2020, we also witnessed COVID, which was a pandemic which impacted the entire world. And during that period, the leadership that emerged through Uddhav Thackeray ji, who steered like a Kutum Pramukh, he steered Maharashtra out of the challenge that, the worst challenge that we could have faced. And with right from vaccination to ensuring shelter homes, to ensuring food reaching every home, to ensuring that there was no mouth which was left hungry, despite an opposition which was not willing to cooperate, which is Mr. Fadnavis and his entire gang of disruptors during that period. And steering Maharashtra during the financial difficulty and yet managing employment, create more employment, which an RTI application has shown. Also bringing in more businesses to Maharashtra. Also ensuring that the first commitment that we made to the farmers of Maharashtra was lived up to. So we've done all of that. And during that 2 years, we also saw how Maharashtra, after the 2 years, how the government was pulled down, how constitution was undermined, how democracy was undermined, and how money power and the agencies being misused led to breakup of 2 political parties which were speaking for the people of Maharashtra, which were 2 regional parties which were broken. And you did not just break political parties, you also broke families, where you got Sunetra Pawarji to contest against Supriya Suleji. So we've seen those days. And 2024, yes, there's a very different politics and alliance as compared to 2019. Yeah. But our commitment, the alliance commitment, was to the people of Maharashtra and will continue to be for the people of Maharashtra. That is something we are continuing with, where we keep people's will supreme.
Lok Sabha election results in Maharashtra was one of the best things that happened to the Maharashtra Vikas Aghadi or India Alliance, we can say, because the results was really well for the India Alliance as well as Maharashtra Vikas Aghadi, the group. Now the thing is, although Shiv Sena UBT won 9 seats, Eknath Shinde group is claiming that okay, we had a better strike rate. How do you tackle that now?
And there's nothing to tackle here. Let me give you very briefly explain to you. 13 members of parliament acted like traitors and left us. They contested on Uddhavji's AB form, but they chose to be with Eknath Shinde, 13 MPs. How many came back? 7. We were left with 6 MPs. How many did we return back with? 9. How many did Bharatiya Janata Party, how many MPs did Bharatiya Janata Party have? 23. How many did they return back? Same 9. So strike rate and direct fight and all that could be a statistic that they would like to show. The fact of the matter is, with a new political party symbol, with a new political party name, We have still come back stronger, and people of Maharashtra have shown us support. I think if this basic understanding the Mahayuti Gadbandhan doesn't get, then they're bound to face the same result in the Vidhan Sabha, which I'm very clear about. I have said this, that was a trailer. Yeah. The blockbuster movie is going to release on 23rd November, which will send out a strong message to our judiciary, to our legislators, to the country, to our democracy, to our constitution, that nobody messes around with Maharashtra.
So, ma'am, apart from the Mumbai seats in Mumbai in the Lok Sabha, which MVA or India Alliance won 4-2, seats in Thane, Raigad or the Konkan belt, which we consider the stronghold of Shiv Sena UBT, they didn't win any seats. Why so? What happened to the support of the people over there?
No, I would say going from 6 to 9 is a win, firstly. That we have been managed to convince the electorate that despite them taking away a symbol, party name, etc., Uddhav ji is the leader who considers is still the most popular amongst all the leadership that we are seeing, and all the surveys are showing that. Of course, there were some constituencies lost. We will work on regaining them. But we will also identify new areas. There are many new areas where we have emerged. Now, I would say this question would be better suited to a Bharatiya Janata Party who's moved from 23 to 9. It would be better suited to Mr. Ajit Pawar, who has lost some seats. It will better be suited to Eknath Shinde, who took 13 MPs but is left with 7. That's less than 50, it's almost 50% lesser than the representation they had.
Now, election is nearing in next few days. And Shiv Sena UBT obviously it's attacking the BJP and the Mahayuti on the basis of the corruption that has happened or the incidents, crime has happened, or the companies projects which have moved from Maharashtra to other states. But apart from this, isn't the Shiv Sena UBT has to show anything great work they have done during their tenure when Uddhavji was the chief minister?
I think the biggest work that he did, which I answered in your first question, was that he took an entire new alliance along, proved it to be a success story, and I'll tell you how. COVID work was acknowledged by the United Nations of Maharashtra. It was acknowledged by the WHO and very grudgingly acknowledged by the Prime Minister of India and Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. That is one big task that we did. There was investigative journalism done across the country, and the figures of death and COVID cases that were being shown in various states were a mismatch from reality. While my state did not show that, we did a scientific way and absolutely transparent manner of reporting. That is the beauty of this government. The second important part, we would have fast-tracked, we were already working on fast-tracking this entire expressway, that the coastal road that's come up, and the MTHL, which is the Atal Setu. We would have finished it and inaugurated it much sooner than what they have done. Okay. The third important thing, which I told you, we got business worth 8 lakh crore during a time when there was financial distress across the world, through Davos, through our engagement with the Maharashtra vision that we introduced, the Maharashtra industrial policy that we introduced, where we empowered the MSMEs, where we empowered startups, where we invited financial companies across the globe to come and invest in us. We started a very important dialogue. So you've heard of the Middle East European corridor, economic corridor, that the Prime Minister spoke about. Adityaji was already speaking about it, that we have to re-energize, reconstruct the Mumbai 2.0 narrative, which is a busy city, a 24/7 city, 24/7 business-minded city, and ensure that we reconnect our ocean economy. We were working on our environmental causes. We were working on various goals that were taking Maharashtra towards a more economically stronger, more sustainable state, despite COVID. Okay. And there's an RTA which says we created more jobs during COVID. Okay. What is it? If these are not a success story, so these are, and more importantly, the very first day of Uddhav Thackeray ji attending the assembly session was the day that I am now going to make our farmers debt free. And we waived off the loans. It's just that the only difference is he did not spend 1,000 crores on publicity. He did not waste taxpayers' money. He ensured that taxpayers' money was safe and was put to use. for things which matter to the people of the state. I think that is most important.
Okay. So you also spoke on the Dharavi issue which is going on right now. Aditya Thackeray ji, Uddhav ji also spoke during the Dashera rally, and even Rahul Gandhi has been continuously speaking on this issue.
Right.
But Sharad Pawar ji has remained silent on this issue. It is said that he has good relations with Adani. So is this the policy or is this the policy of the just entire MVA or just Shiv Sena in Congress?
This is a policy of every Mumbaiker. We are just voicing the voices of the people in Dharavi, the Dharavikars. And I'll tell you why Mumbaikars. Today, a man wins a tender for 540 acres. We have no grudges. Very good. 540 acres you have. 300 acres is where the slum redevelopment needs to be done. We are saying in situ. Obviously, displacing people and putting them in other parts of the state where there are small industries going on, small businesses going on. It happens to be one of the biggest leather hub of Asia. You're removing everything to construct these buildings. The second problem being the TDR, that there's compulsory 50% TDR at a rate that he proposes that other builders need to buy. That means if any other builder is first buying the 50% TDR from him, the per square feet of any area which he's constructing and selling to the to people who wish to buy a flat or own real estate, the costs are going to go up. That's point one. Yeah. The second problem, 5 or 40 acres, 300 acres you have to develop, but now you decided, no, I need more place. So you will go take Kanjurmarg, you will go take some place in Mulund, then you will take some place in near Mud Island. How does it work? He's asking for an additional 1100 acres.
Which is not part of the tender.
Which is not part of the tender document. Tender document is you will rehabilitate and redevelop 540 acres. You have won on that basis. So every Mumbaiker needs to realize that every inch of space that is being given to Mr. Adani, and we are converting Mumbai city to Adani city, the BJP wants it to happen that way because the centre wants it that way. We are taking away our own freedoms, we are making our lives more expensive and miserable. So that is why we are only voicing the voice of the people of Mumbai.
So what if this is wrong, then what action the MVA government will take once it comes to power then?
We will have to scrap this tender. If you have been unable to fulfill the tender conditions of providing homes within that 540 acres, and now you're taking those displaced people to other parts of the city and claiming land, that means you haven't been able to live up to the tender conditions. If you agree that 540 acres, then we shall talk. But if you're disagreeing with that, then we will put in a fresh proposal.
And apart from this, the present election which is going to come up, all the three parties, especially the Shiv Sena UBT, it seems that for them the main mudda is more about the locals, Marathi Manus, and because the MVA is alleging that many of the projects have gone from Maharashtra to Gujarat, suddenly it has become like a Marathi versus Gujarati kind of thing. Is it?
No.
Is the Shiv Sena UBT against the Gujarati or the state of Gujarat?
Not at all. We have so many Gujaratis living in Mumbai who have contributed towards the economic development of Mumbai. Please, it is never about that. It is about this. And as a Mumbaiker, you should realize this. Every 1 rupee that we send to the centre, what we get back is perhaps 7 to 9 paisa back. Every rupee I'm sending as tax collection, and we are the highest tax-paying state. We get back 9 paisa. We don't grudge having to share our contribution. But we will grudge if that contribution is also deliberately harmed by taking away industries from my state. Which part of the country it goes to is secondary. If today you look at the Economic Advisory Council's report, it says Maharashtra's growth rate has slowed down while the other states is increasing. So when there is a deliberate attempt to undermine my city or my state, to make my people jobless, to make them dependent on Delhi's dole out, that Delhi will decide where industries come, doesn't work. Now I will give you 2 examples. The day the elections were announced in Maharashtra, that was the day Prime Minister went and inaugurated the Tata Airbus project, which was to come to my state. When I looked at him inaugurating it, I was like, what harm would it have done if it would have come to my state? And was to be somewhere in Nagpur. How come the Devendra Fadnavis who comes from Nagpur did not fight for it?
So Devendra Fadnavis...
Allow me the second point.
Okay.
Vedanta Foxconn. Another project which was taken away from Maharashtra, which would have created a lot of jobs, 120,000 jobs upwards. Vedanta Foxconn hasn't been able to take off or convince investors to invest in their project ever since it went to Gujarat. So that particular project has been scrapped. So is that a loss just for Maharashtra? Is that a loss for my nation? It's a loss for my nation. Because of whose petty-mindedness? Because of petty-mindedness of the central government, which is playing partial games. So I'm not against Gujarat. We are not against that, please. But yes, I will have a problem if my locals are not getting job today. Unemployment is at 7% in Maharashtra. Never heard of before. Why should I not cater to my people? And people who made this their home. So it's not about us versus them. It's you who's creating this. What should naturally come to Maharashtra, which we've bid for, we've pitched for, it is an industry which talks business. It is a state which talks business. I'll give you another example. The diamond bourse was taken away to Surat. Very good. You took that away. You took IFSC away. You've taken everything away. Now those people in Surat who chose to go to Surat are finding it very difficult to do business there. They're all moving back. Yeah. So what made you take it away from my state when they were happily doing business here? So that is the problem. When you start looking at it from an eye, we will make the state a state which has been independent, biggest contributor, never grudge the contribution or getting less amount back. Why are you making us kneel down to your whims and fancies? That is the only issue here.
But Devendra Fadnavis has defended this move, saying that although the movement of the Tata Airbus project from Nagpur to Vadodara happened during the tenure of MVA's government.
That's a lie.
He even hold a press conference saying that.
Would you trust a person who said Ajit Pawar will be chakki piecing? Will you trust that person? And he now is a deputy chief minister with him. Would you trust a person who said, MVA said, nahi, which has now become Yashraj Mukhate, one of the persons who does these tunes. It has become one of those nahi. Yeah. So would you trust a person who's actually backstabbing my state by coming with these ideas and saying, I think Mrs. Fadnavis said this, कि hoodie पहनकर जाते थे, Batman, क्या Spider-Man or whatever, I don't know what term she used, some superhero term, कि जाते थे, and he was planning and plotting this. So I'm sorry, when he tries to defend businesses going out of my state, happened during this tenure, that tenure, I am sorry, Mr. Shinde, I'm sorry, Mr. Fadnavis, you all come across as doing a huge disservice with your lies to defend the central government and your government at the cost of my state and its people.
Last few questions. Let's coming to more Mumbai-centric questions now. Mumbai has 36 assembly seats and Shiv Sena UBT is contesting on 22 seats. How many of them you feel you're going to win?
We will win as many seats as we can from Mumbai because Mumbai has shown faith in us and Mumbai has historically been with us. And Mumbai is a city which was most impacted simply because this was the first time a chief minister of Maharashtra was someone who came from Mumbai, who understood the pulse of Mumbai. Uddhav Thackeray ji was the first person in Maharashtra's history who was a born Mumbaikar and who knew Mumbai's challenges and issues. And obviously the financial impact of industries moving out of the state also reflect on Mumbai. So Mumbai is a city which we have voice, which we have been close to, which we've been speaking for, which has shown faith in us, which has backed us. So we are very confident that people of Mumbai will bless us again with their votes.
So the BJP during the Lok Sabha, after the results were out, they were blaming, the Muslims have voted for the Shiv Sena. It's like a vote jihad thing. How do you tackle that?
This argument came from a man whose own video went viral. You know who I'm talking about, a former member of parliament who hasn't been placed ever since, his first term as a parliamentarian or second term as a parliamentarian. But there's a very interesting story, investigative story, and an RTI that was done by a leading newspaper, investigative newspaper in India. And they had said that while they claim vote jihad, the benefit of that has gone to the Bharatiya Janata Party. With numbers, they've shown how BJP has benefited out of those areas which are dominated by the so-called vote jihadis.
Okay.
I just hate this idea of trying to split people and voters on the basis of their religion, which BJP does. I also despise this idea that we all live under the same constitution. And this constitution has given every section a right to vote. They have also given every section a right to choose. If they are choosing to vote against you, how can it be called jihad? And do you remember in the 2019 election when Mr. Modi came with a 303 mandate? They said lots of Muslim women have voted for us because he brought the triple talaq ban and there was the triple talaq ban. Because of that, they are blessing us. Right? That was not vote jihad. Vote jihad is when they vote in the opposition. But unfortunately for Mr. Fadnavis, that has been exposed to. That investigative story with numbers, I don't have the story with me right away, but I'll show it to you. It has helped the BJP gain its vote share.
If we see the Lok Sabha results, seats like Mumbai, South Mumbai where Arvind Savanth contested elections, as well as the Mumbai Northeast seat where Mr. Patil were contesting election, both of them got huge votes from Muslim-dominated areas. There's nothing wrong in that. But the thing is now, when the Lok Sabha assembly elections are coming up, Shiv Sena has only selected only one Muslim contest candidate from Warsaw.
You're talking like a BJP person again. I'm sorry to say, the narrative that has come out so strongly has been that, oh look, representation of a woman can only be done by a woman. If there are fewer women, a man cannot think for a woman's empowerment. Let's not reduce ourselves to that.
Okay.
Who is the best winning candidate? And who's the one who can represent you well?
In that particular.
Yeah, don't reduce. The challenge with fighting with the BJP is that they reduce people to their identities. Do you think for so many years, BMC may overwhelmingly we've been given the charge by people that people are not thinking before who they're voting for? Are they voting on the basis of religious lines, caste lines, who our representative is? They're voting for a representative who will work for all. So I think this narrative is very, I would say, misleading to say, oh look, we gave you so many votes, but you've given us only one. Now we have Haroon Khanji, who has been a Shiv Sainik traditionally. We didn't give him a seat because he's a Muslim. We gave him a seat because he has done tremendous work as a corporator. And he is very capable of bringing us this seat. I think that is how we should look at representation more than anything else.
Let's move from Warsaw to Worli now. Aditya ji is also contesting for the second time, and this time there's going to be a triangular fight. There's an MNS candidate and there's a candidate from Shiv Sena as well, Milind Devra. So do you think it's going to be difficult for him to win this time, or it's going to be a smooth walk?
I will not see any election that we speak about. Yeah. We take no election lightly. Neither does Aditya ji. For every election, it's an election to win. I'm not going to go into individuals, triangular fight, quadrilateral fight, or square fight, or rectangle fight. I'm not getting into that. There is one person from MNS. The question to him would probably be, where was he when COVID struck Worli? Was he even present when people were struggling during COVID? When Aditya ji was the minister, he worked towards ensuring water, whether it was water issues, whether it was redevelopment issues, whether it was the police homes, the BDD chawls issues. He's resolved a lot of them. And the towers for the BDD chawls are already out there. Now, the second person you're talking about, I don't want to make it individual-centric, but isn't it the fact that that person lost in 2014 and 2019 and Worli constituency happens to be a part of Mumbai South? And 2020, first the claim was, oh look, 2019 and 2014 Arvind Savanth ji won because of Modi wave. Yeah. 2024 he's won again. So person who could not, convince the 6 assemblies to get him to win is now fighting on an assembly. Again, the question will be the same to that person as well.
Do you think Ladki Bahin scheme, which has been introduced by the current regime, is going to hurt the MVA in some other, especially by the women voters? It's going to snatch away.
I wouldn't say hurt the MVA as much as it hurt in the unplanned, unsystematic way it was introduced, that it hurt the financial strength of the state. I have no problem with a scheme like this. We must have women who feel that it helps them, giving them some funds. But the way this was brought and the intent with which this was brought, the intent was not to help women. Ladki Behan was not Ladki 2.5 years ago. She became Ladki after losing Lok Sabha. That is point one. The point two, the law and order machinery that has collapsed in Maharashtra, where law and order is being used for political benefits. For example, Marathas who were silently protesting were lathi charged. The Badlapur case has not been forgotten. And when women came out to protest in large numbers in a state like Maharashtra, where they said, "Aap humse rupe le lo, par hame ek surakshit mahol do," the Shakti bill continues to not get the nod from the center, from the President of India. They've done nothing about it. Ladki Behan is also struggling with huge financial burdens due to high cost of inflation, high cost of living. She wants jobs at home. She wants education at a lower price. She wants food that is on her plate to be less expensive. Everything that you go to buy today has increased substantially by 200-300%. And you're giving her 1,500. Chalo, you're giving her 1,500. My second question to you, was it in a planned way? Was there any structure behind it? Was there any, amount that was dedicated to it? It just came as a knee-jerk reaction to losing an election. My most important point in this would finally be that in terms of the expense that you've got, I've already told you about it. Now look at the assets of these very gaddars in 2019. And you look at their assets now. The increase has been phenomenal, 100% to 700% increase in their wealth, in their assets they own. And I put out a tweet, right? From 70 crores to 350 crores. And what about the Aam Aadmi and that Ladki Behan? That Ladki Behan should be satisfied with 1,500 rupees and 1,500% का इजाफा you've done in your assets. So पैसा कहाँ से आया? हमारे ही लूट कर आया ना. They've only exposed their selfishness and their wanting to continue to be in power by coming out with policies which were not part of their agenda, but suddenly became a part of their agenda because they felt कि मध्य प्रदेश में हम outcome निकला तो शायद यहाँ पे भी निकल जाएगा. For them, everything is about political outcome. For us, it's about welfare, about service. That's the difference.
Okay, so if they have come up with the Ladki Behan scheme, what all the MV or Shiv Sena UBD is going to offer to the people once they come to power?
So I have already said I do not have a problem with the scheme, but make provisions for it. Provisions आप बनाइए, आप allocate करिए इतने funds इसके लिए जा रहे हैं, and this is the way it's going to come. So our first priority is creating jobs. How do we create jobs? Come up with an industrial policy. There used to be this entire Maharashtra Vision platform that we used to get MOUs done from industries to come and work in our state. The second thing is, Uddhavji in his speech yesterday had said that education for girls is free, higher education for girls is free. We will introduce education for boys also free. So that is one big promise that we are doing. The other promise would be the Ladki Behan. We will ensure that it will come with a better name, and it will come with a better implementation, and it will come with a better amount, which is a respectable amount. That's the second part. Farmers will get their minimum MSP. And when I was saying कि देखिए 1,500 तो दे रहे हैं पर महंगाई आसमान छू रही है. Again, the food essential items will be capped. कि इससे ज़्यादा हम बढ़ता है तो state will bear the burden. आज एक आम महिला की गृहस्थी में किसी तरीके के खाने में कमी नहीं आनी चाहिए, पोषण में कमी नहीं आनी चाहिए. That we will work on. So the children will have better educational opportunities. Mota moti, you have understood that it is going to be more about driven for my state and my state to get its lost glory back.
Okay. And 23rd of November results will be out. दूध का दूध पानी का पानी हो जाएगा उस दिन, right? So how confident are you that Uddhav ji will become a CM again?
Absolutely. Absolutely. The will of the people of Maharashtra will be respected, will be honored. And if you look at every survey across, and I speak as a Shiv Sainik more than I speak, and as a Maharashtrian who has been born and raised in Mumbai, I would say that if you look at the surveys across board, across political party leaders, everything, he continues to be the most popular face.
When you said absolutely, is the NCP, Sharad Pawar's party and Congress on board regarding?
Everybody will be on board in the interest of the state of Maharashtra. Okay. And again, I will repeat what Uddhav Sahab has continued to say. What is important is that my state is taken back from those people who are looting my state. The ones who stand with the Mahayuti Gathbandhan are anti-Maharashtra. The ones who stand with us are the ones who are taking Maharashtra forward. He has continued to say, irrespective of who becomes the chief minister, his commitment is to the state of Maharashtra and its development story. There should be no tear or no sadness on any face of a resident of Maharashtra. That is all.
Can I ask 2 questions now? What if the Shiv Sena loses the election?
That's not going to happen.
What's the future? I mean, anything can happen.
It's not
we
going
all
to
saw what
happen.
happened in Haryana.
Don't compare Haryana to Maharashtra, please.
Okay.
And let's not live in the sense of fear. What if this happens? Let's speak from a position of not overconfidence, but a firm belief that Maharashtra will vote for progress, for inclusion, for development, for its Sanskriti, for its culture and its cultural importance. For छत्रपति शिवाजी महाराज के नाम पे जो राजनीति करते हैं और उन्हीं के नाम पे पैसा कमाते हैं, भ्रष्टाचार करके, वो छत्रपति शिवाजी महाराज की जो मूर्ति गिरी, वो हमारी अस्मिता टूटी थी. तो वो जो चीज़ हो वो महाराष्ट्र में रिपीट ना हो. बट इन केस people give us a role to sit in the opposition, I can tell you we will continue to raise the voice of the people. What is the future of Shiv Sena? The future of Shiv Sena is bright. The future of Shiv Sena is strength, and it derives its strength from the people of Maharashtra. And that is why I say that people of Maharashtra will bless us and set everything that was wrongly done. They will set it right.
Okay. Now, final question. In the Lok Sabha, the MVA won around 31 seats. And if you see the detail, if you go into details, around 151 seats, assembly seats, the MVA had leads. Can you give us a number now?
No, I'm not going to give you any numbers because ना तो मैं exit pollster हूँ जो अमेरिका से लेकर इंडिया में गलत हो रहे हैं, ना मैं opinion poll maker हूँ, ना मैं कोई एस्ट्रोलॉजर हूँ. तो मैं और ना मैं ये कह सकती हवा है, तूफान है, आंधी है, सुनामी है, मैं ये भी नहीं कहूँगी. पर ये इस विश्वास से कहूँगी कि जनता का जो प्रेम, जनता का जो विश्वास हमने वो 151 असेंबली लीड्स में देखा, वो 151 से आगे ही जाएगा. इस विश्वास से कह रही हूँ क्योंकि मैं मानती हूँ कि महाराष्ट्र बदलाव चाहती है.
Thank you so much. You have answered all our questions.
Thank you.
To the point, and thank you for giving us time.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
And all the best for the election.
Thank you so much. That's most important.